everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, I've been showing you a lot of America Chavez lately. I think you're starting to get it. She's pretty awesome. We've seen her in some questing. I showed you the buff. Then we've looked at her in war. She's dominating that too. There's a global attack that's giving her a fate seal, but she doesn't have it on her kit. And I've been using her in Battlegrounds. And I'm going to show you just how great she is. Now, if I'm a good player, I'm not a great player. I'm not one of the world's best Battlegrounds players. So if I can do this with her, imagine what you and someone else can do. Also, we're not just going to watch her go up against Cosmic Champions, although Cosmic's pretty awesome, especially in Battlegrounds. We're going to see it. So we're going to go up against this fight against Hulkling, right? One of the things I'm so proud of is that I asked Kabam if we could add to her Utopian Parallel, if we could add Pierce to that, right? So if she gets your Utopian Parallel, she's going to start reducing that by 70% for each one. Pierce is the orange one, we'll call it. It's in the upper left. Now, Hulkling also gets those power gains when he gets his buffs. So using my full heavy, right, getting up the negative zone to reduce that ability power rate by 60%. So here we go. Now, this takes a little bit of lining up. I don't want to make it seem like just you can walk in and do this every single time. But there you go. You can line it up with his Indestructible, and you saw how much damage that did. And then, because Hulkling has so many buffs, and I have all of my unique parallel dimensions, I'm getting some serious, well, I'm getting hit in the face there. Attack increases, right? We can go in, we intercept with this because I knew time was of the essence. Finished him off. You're gonna see a pretty nice score as we turn here. And here's the thing. This meta maybe helps her a little bit in getting some heal back if you make a mistake like I did, but she has a really nice heal off her SP2. I'm gonna show that to you in some of these fights. Also, she wants to stay close to the defender. It's just how she works, right? With the heavy, right? The passive stun off of the heavy. So we were getting a lot of weaknesses on. Now, here's an Eyeless. This is a very, very tough defender. Yes, sometimes you want to use a champion. Like, I think Absorbing Man is the best default counter to an Eyeless, but you can't always have that. You can't always have a Clairvoyant. You can't always have a Hood, get rid of the Rod and all that sort of stuff. So, right, and when you try to parry him, I think it's a 60% chance it's going to come off because it's an Obliterating Strike or something like that. So you do need to get a step back, but here's the thing. That's for stun debuffs. It is not for the passive stun. So watch this. We're going to get the nice step back there, go in, or I guess maybe he just didn't have an Obliterating Strike. Either way, I don't really care. And we were able to land that, and then I think we're going to get some nice intercepts. Going to throw this. So we've now got up 2 of our parallel dimensions, right? We threw the SP1 after the third hit, and then after the first hit, and then we also let a full heavy go by, and then now you're gonna see me go in, make a little mistake, it's fine, go in, and I'm gonna throw my SP2, I think, to get a nice heal up, and will this still do enough? It finishes him off. It's the SP2, when you've got up all your unique dimensions. I'm also minus SIG 200, that's helpful, and all those buffs that are on an Eyeless or any champion, she's going to hit very, very hard. Plus the SP2, I believe if you hit it off the second part, you're triggering basically that dark dimension. You're going to regenerate 12% of the hit damage done. You see a score of 55,750 for America Chavez, 34 seconds off a very, very tough defender. Now, I'm not going to just show you the Cosmics. I said I wasn't going to show you just the Cosmics. We're going to go up against this Domino. It's not going to be the fastest fight, but this is where you end up in Battlegrounds sometimes. You're not always going to have a Nimrod sitting there ready for your Domino. And what I want to point out to you is that for each parallel dimension, right, each unique one, she has 3 possible, and you can trigger all of them. She's going to get plus 306.82 inner resistance. I guess that's at rank 5. Whatever. It's a decent amount. That's going to come up to around 900. That's a pretty good amount. And the crit fail damage is energy damage. So you want to get up all of your parallel dimensions here. You're going to see me try to do that. You still need to be careful because it's Domino, right? Things can crit fail. You're going to see me try to be very mindful of like that I'm unlucky, and when Domino goes lucky, those sorts of things. But I've got up all of my parallel dimensions now, which means I have around 900-ish energy resistance. So I should go ahead and let the heavy land fully there so I can retrigger the negative zone. There you go. So I can keep up all of them, right? Those are those passes in the upper left-hand corner. So well, I'll let you see the final fight here. I'll let you see this fight before I start talking about it too much. This is a special 2 with 2 weaknesses up. That's what I was talking about. This meta actually is not, I think it's actually a hindrance to her. It's a hindrance to her. And keep in mind also, Domino has no buffs at all, and we're still hitting this hard. So if I'm in the fight right now, so let's see what I choose to do. But me sitting here coaching myself Sunday morning quarterback, I should throw it off the first one. Nice, I did. That's good, that's good, that's good. And I hope that in a perfect world, that would have killed Domino. We're gonna get a nice little intercept here. So that took about less than a minute and a half. Less than a minute and a half. She's a pretty good defender, right? Unless you've got like Torch or Archangel, and we still came in with 49,625. This is Battlegrounds. This is Battlegrounds. You're not always going to have, like I said, Nimrod, Mega Sentinel, that sort of thing. I do want to point this out. This isn't me using the emoji. This is my boy Nahorn. I actually had a wonderful fight against Mephisto, right? Because we talked about the negative zone. That's when she finishes off her heavy. It starts off with a 60% ability power reduction, and then you can stack it multiple times. It does lose, I think it's 20% effectiveness for each stack, but you can start really mitigating and then reversing that power gain of Mephisto, and then all of a sudden he's not so bad. And then remember, we talked about really nice energy resistance, and she doesn't need buffs on the defenders to start hitting very, very hard. So my buddy Nah, he's a phenomenal player. It looks like he scored about 51,000 points. I had a fight around that same place. It just, I guess the recording didn't take. I'm not really sure what happened. So here's another very tough Battlegrounds defender, right? He is just Gore. He's a good dual threat. He can handle pennies and other champions for you. But look at all these buffs he's got on him. Look at all these buffs he's got on him. So watch how hard, see when we're starting to crit. We're starting to crit now. That's our SP1. We should do one more. Let's go. We should end in our first, off the first hit of the heavy. There we go. It's going to get us really close to special 2. Now, I was feeling pretty good here. I know I had the 2 weaknesses on. I'm trying to get them off if I can. But I was pretty sure this SP2 would end him. With all his buffs, you can see how hard we're already hitting. Look, I mean, we took off about 25% just in the combo. Special 1, Gore's trying to he's trying to regen, and just, it's a nice try, Gore. It's a very nice try. I think you're getting the picture here. I think you're getting the picture. There's a lot of cosmics. They're great attackers. They also have to be good defenders, right? Gallon, you want a counter. You want a counter for Gallon. She's a good defender, and you want to be knocking him down a lot with your specials. Get rid of that mass, right? Well, you're seeing when you can just play her at her peak, how many specials you're throwing. Let's go ahead. We're going to throw a special 1 now. This is so fun to watch. She's so good now. She's not overpowered. She's not the best Mystic. She's not Doom. But boy, is she good. So here we go. I think I'm going to mess up this evade. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Let's see if I get off a heal at the end. So I should throw this off my first hit of the heavy. He loses his planetary mass. And I should go in and finish a heavy. Let's see. I'm not sure what I do. Oh, yeah. So I didn't want to push myself too far. So I throw the heavy so I can get up all my unique parallel dimensions. He's got 8 Furies. And this should end him. I should throw off my special 2 off the second part so I can get a nice heal. Heal up about 9%. It didn't kill him. That's a surprise. That is a big surprise. It's okay. She's hitting so hard. We get him down with the first hit of that combo there. He's done. He's dead. Let's see. 52,202. These are very good scores for a champion that I'm trying very hard not to go overboard on. She's a very good defender. Here, the last fight's actually just more of a for funsies, right? You're not going to see this defender too often in a super competitive match. But again, it's the kind of instance where you sometimes find yourself in Battlegrounds because they're such a good attacker. Sometimes these things just happen. But if the opponent has, like, you know, Human Torch is going to melt her because her health pool is not big. Archangel, she's not immune to poison or bleed, right? There's some other champions, some well-played ones that can really handle her, but we all know her. She will just start throwing heavies in the middle of the field, and you're not even blocking. You're like, the fight just started. Why are you already heavy, America? Why are you doing this to me? And she will. And she can get into that middle zone. It's called the Dark Dimension, where she's reflecting back 40% health. The special 2 can hit so hard. So she is a good defender. I'm not trying to sell her. She's not the next Korg. But man, as a two-way, you know, when I do my Battlegrounds ranking here, probably in about a week or 2 after this season is over, I'm going to be really tempted to move her to the highest tier of dual threats. Look how hard we're going to be hitting here. He's only got 1 buff. He's only got 1 buff. I'm going to try to reparry. I got a little overconfident. I should have triggered that all 3 of my dimensions, and I didn't. He's so good. He is so good. Of course, I love the champion or the character. I've told you all for like probably a year now. That's an American Chavez action figure there on the table. I was so disappointed when she came to the game. She had a use with the ability power rate, but she just didn't hit hard enough. She just didn't. There was this theoretical, really high maximum in fights with a ton of buffs. Like that Gore fight, maybe would have looked about the same pre-buff. But there's all these other fights, and you saw her. I mean, you saw the Domino fight. Domino's a very difficult defender. We got our energy resistance up high, and the fight took what, under a minute and a half, and we still scored about 49,000 points in a meta that's actually hurting her. It is actively making her worse because she's got the was it a 3-hit heavy, and she wants to stay so close so she can land that heavy, throw those SP1s. I will eventually get out the Essentials video. Depending on when you see this, go ahead and look at my channel. I've got a lot of videos on her, though, constantly talking about how to play her. She's awesome. She's amazing. She's everything I would hope I would want in a champion like this. If I get a Mystic, a rank 5 gem soon, if that's what we need to get, I believe she will be my first one. Because I think she's good enough now. She's good enough now. You know, I always talk about you're playing the game and have fun, and you're gonna play the champions best you most enjoy, and so I think that's why I've learned her so well now. But she's now good enough where it's not something I will regret. You know, I'm so excited. Let me know what you think. If there's other fights you've been taking, I've had people tell me they're taking out pennies with her. I tried that; it did not work out well for me, but I theoretically get it. And other champions that you think, and then let me know too. Do you think she'd be in the highest tier of dual threats? I don't have many champions up there. It's like Doom and Sasquatch. I mean, they've got to be exceptional in both. And I think she's like an A- in both. That's the thing. I think she's about an A- in both. Thank you so much for watching. I love this champion. I'm loving putting out videos on her. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.
See